What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another Nasty Love build video. In today's video, we have a lot for you. I'm first going to start out by filling the rear diff. We're going to get the engine off the stand, install the rear cover, and test fit it in the truck. Then we're going to check our throwout bearing clearance and possibly final install this stuff. So we'll see what happens. Might do a little more, might do a little less, but let's get to work. All right, so we're under the truck. I have this Lucas gear oil, which is safe for posi lock, which this does have. So I'm gonna pull out this plug up in the center section, and we're gonna fill it through this fill plug here. It actually technically has two fill plugs. This one's gonna be easier to fill from. So we're gonna just take out the other one just to set the level. It should take about 3 quarts, give or take. All right, let's go ahead and get this stuff in there. It's basically right at the fill plug. That's probably good there. But I will definitely get another quart of that and top it off. So next thing we're gonna do now that we've filled the rear end is go over to the engine, pull it off the engine stand, and install that rear main seal plate. All right, so we have the engine on this load stabilizer piece. It just moves forwards and backwards to tilt the engine up and down in the front. So we're gonna go ahead and jack this thing up. We're gonna take off the engine stand, install our oil galley plug in the back, and then put it on the rear cover. A little bit of RTV. Okay, there we go. All right, so now we're gonna pick up the engine, put it in the truck, and see what we're gonna have to cut to fit it. Because I know there's some things on this Firewall that are going to have to be cut in order for the engine to fit. For example, there's a bracket for the old parking brake that we're gonna have to cut off. I know that for a fact, but I still wanna check, test fit the engine, see what needs cut out before I do any cutting. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so now we're gonna spend some time in the engine bay and get rid of all the stuff that's gonna be in our way when we install the LS. So basically we gotta get rid of this heater hose setup, this bracket here, which was for the parking brake, and just a couple other things to clean it up a little bit. All right, so I think we got everything cut off and removed off of the Firewall that we need to final install the engine. So now we're gonna go ahead and install the clutch, reinstall the engine, make sure that everything fits, pull it back out, and then measure our throwout bearing clearance. All right, so I have the engine back out here and I have it just like resting on a box. Probably not the best thing to do, but it's what I got to work with. I didn't really have any other safe way to set the engine down on the ground like I need to. But we went ahead and got the QuickTime bell housing on here. Now we're gonna go ahead and measure for our throwout bearing clearance. So that is a clearance between the end of the throwout bearing and these clutch fingers inside of here, right there. So basically what I'm gonna do is measure with a depth gauge from this mating surface here, which mates up to the face of the transmission, to those clutch fingers. And then I'm gonna go to the transmission, put on our throwout bearing and measure from the face of the throwout bearing to this mating surface on the transmission, and we'll subtract one from the other, and that will give us our clearance. So before we do that, we got to unbox the transmission, which is over here, and we got to put our throwout bearing on and get to measuring. So I'm going to bring that over here, unbox it, and we'll put everything together and start measuring. All right, so we have our bell housing on the back of the engine, and I actually already measured my throwout bearing clearance just to try to get it done in a timely manner. But I'm still going to show you guys how I went about doing it, and a very simple way to measure it, especially when you have a two-piece bell housing, or a two-piece transmission where the bell housing separates. Fairly simple. I have a straight edge here. I just put that on this mating surface here, and I measure from the outer edge of the straight edge to the highest point on the finger on the clutch, and that is 4.685 inches. Then we come over here to the transmission itself with the throwout bearing installed, and like I said, I already measured this, and do the same thing. Measure to that same mating surface where the bell housing meets, and that is 4.619. So we want the distance from the throwout bearing to the clutch fingers to be between 50 thousandths and 100 thousandths. So I just subtract the bigger number. It was like 4.7 something. We subtract the distance from the transmission to the face of the throwout bearing from the distance from the mating surface to the clutch fingers, and that is what our clearance number is. So we have about 60 thousandths clearance, which is within spec, so we're good to go. I think I've got 6 of the spacers on there, so we can put our throwout bearing on. I will pull one of these out and we'll put in a stud so that this stays where it's supposed to, and then we're basically at this point ready to install the engine. So I'm gonna get all this stuff cleaned up, and I'm gonna try to install the engine, hopefully for the last time. We might have to pull it back out to do some more fitting and stuff, but I'm fingers crossed that we can put it in and leave it in until the truck is running. All right, so it is actually the next day. We did get the engine in and got it mounted. It took a couple tries. I had the mounts on the wrong sides, and then I had them upside down, but they are on correctly now, and the engine is mounted in the truck. We just have the intake set on here, and I have these headers just temporarily bolted up. Those actually aren't gonna work. I do have to get some different headers. These are S10 swap headers. They came with this engine when I bought it, but like I just said, we're gonna have to get some different ones, like some generic LS swap headers. I do not remember where I left off with my last video, so I ordered some new headers, and I also laid out our wiring harness just to see about where it's gonna rest. That is definitely not final installed on anything yet. Our intake isn't even on yet. But in the meantime, we're gonna go ahead and lift the truck up, install our bell housing, and check for transmission clearance, see what we're gonna have to cut, bend, and smash. So let's go ahead and lift the truck up and get that bell housing on and torqued, and then try to fit up our transmission. All right, so I just put the bell housing on the transmission, as you guys saw, and I measured the transmission from the bell housing mating surface to the shifter. Is about 20 inches, and I drilled this hole right here, which is about 20 inches. This is about where our shifter is gonna sit. It used to sit up here, so I'm gonna cut this square out so we can have a hole for our shifter. Hopefully this is big enough. If I need to make it bigger, I'll just make it bigger. But let's go ahead and grab the cutoff wheel and get this hole cut out. There we go. Nice, perfect square. All right, so last you guys saw, we were trying to mate up the transmission to the engine, but we are having a bit of an issue. And that issue is the company that makes the bell housing, which is QuickTime, did not send me the engine block plate. I just assumed that maybe it was an added on accessory. I didn't think about it also acting as a spacer. So the issue we're having here is the end of the transmission input shaft here is butting up against the pilot bearing, and it's not allowing the transmission to seat all the way. So when I would tighten it down, it would kind of put some pressure on it, put pressure on the thrust bearings in the engine, and it was hard to turn over. And that is a big issue. We cannot have that. That will just destroy the engine, destroy the transmission right away. So come tomorrow on Monday, I'm going to give a call to QuickTime, or well, give a call to Speedway Motors, the company who sold me the bell housing. Try to get that plate as soon as possible, because at this point, we're pretty much at a standstill. I need to order some more parts. I went to install our starter that we had, but it turns out the kid that I bought the engine from, which came with the starter, he damaged the starter. He over tightened one of the studs on it, so that is damaged. We need a new starter. And we can't really do a whole lot more on this till we get some parts in the mail, honestly. The only thing that I really have left to do is to route all the wiring, and I don't want to do that until we have the transmission mounted and have the engine solidly mounted in the truck. So at this point, we're basically at a standstill. I can't really do much more without that engine block plate. So that is probably where I'm gonna have to stop today's video. We did get the engine in, we got it basically mounted up. I was expecting stuff like this, a bunch of little issues, a bunch of little things preventing me from going forward. So I got a lot of stuff on order. Hopefully we can get this thing running within the next week or two. And then we'll be able to get it to the drive shaft shop, get a drive shaft made, and then this thing will be driving before you guys know it. But since I don't really have anything else I can do on the truck right now, that is the end of this video. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to subscribe. Check out my TikTok channel at Autotech Aaron. And guys, let's get to building nasty love.